I would like to join my many colleagues in paying tribute to the Hillsborough families, including those in the gallery today and those who, for very understandable reasons, perhaps felt that they could not be here. Your quest for justice is truly inspirational to all of us, and thank you so very much for your perseverance and everything that you've done. I don't doubt that it will make the country a better place. When we look at this legislation, I know that many people have had raised concerns about the duty of candour and its application to the security service. And I am sure that the Right Honourable Member for Kenilworth and Southam, when he raised this in the Chamber, I'm sure he did so in good faith. But what no one who has raised concerns about this has been able to point to is any way in which the existing law protecting security services and the secret information that they hold has in any way ever actually failed, or any problems as a result of the existing arrangements. The concerns that have been raised have seemed to be entirely hypothetical, and giving the security services a huge carve-out from the duty of candour when there is known problems, for instance, as a result of the evidence that was given at the Manchester Arena bombing, seems to me to be completely unsustainable and unreasonable. There is literally no evidence to suggest that there is any risk to national security here, and I would join with my other colleagues in saying that if there was evidence to suggest that the existing arrangements had ever failed us, then many of us would think again about the drafting of this bill as it has been put forward by the government. We would all stand country first. But there is nothing that I can see that would prevent this law from going ahead in the way it's been drafted. What we also owe, though, to the Hillsborough families, when we are looking, and the many other families from the many other disasters that we sadly hear about in this place too often, is it's so important to get to the truth, so important, and I hope that the duty of candour will help to move that forward significantly. But then the other question is, what comes next? And that's why I stand today to stand in support of new clauses 5 and 6 brought forward by the Right Honourable Member for Hammersmith and Chiswick, in which he has called for us to have a national oversight mechanism to follow up with respect to the actions of a public authority arising from the conclusions and recommendations of inquests and inquiries. Because yes, we absolutely must get to the truth, and then we absolutely must have recommendations for how we avoid future catastrophes and disasters and unnecessary risk. But we've got to then do something to stop it from happening again. And at the moment, when we have prevention of future death reports or we have inquiry reports, all too often we are not seeing that follow-up, not consistently and not across the board. All too often we have seen, for instance, in the place of the Ockenden report, that there have been recommendations from individual inquiries around maternity scandals, for instance, but that actually systemic change does not follow, despite the considerable resources and efforts put in by individuals to make those systems be better. So when we are thinking about justice for the Hillsborough families and the Grenfell families and the many, many other families who have sadly lost their loved ones in these terrible, terrible circumstances, we must make sure that we are going to bring into play mechanisms that ensure that there is proper follow-up after all of these disasters, that those inquiry outcomes are followed through on, and that we have the right mechanisms in place to ensure that. So thank you very much to everyone who has worked to get us to where we are today. I know there are so many families, obviously, but also members of Parliament have worked across party and for a great deal of time to try and bring this forward.